I had not planned to film today, but I don't know, I felt inspired to do like a slow Saturday vlog. I have stuff I need to do today, but I don't have a timeline. So I'm literally just doing like everything leisurely. So first, I'm actually at one of the community gardens, but so I need to actually water both and check on the progress of the plants that I've planted. But I brought Nyx with me because both places have areas to walk nearby. So instead of like walking her around the neighborhood and then doing all this, I thought maybe I'll just bring her with me so she can sniff around in a new place, and I'll get to do my garden chores at the same time. So she's anxious to get out of the car. But yeah, I just felt inspired to do this like slow Saturday thing because I just have a couple chores and errands to run, but I'm just like not in a rush. So I don't feel like the pressure to like get things done really fast. So just tag along with me. I like to take Nyx on these sniffing walks where I just let her sniff as long as she wants and wherever she wants. It's less exercise for me because we're not walking at like a brisk pace, but it wears her out, and she loves sniffing. We know her mom was a lab, but the place we got her from isn't sure about the dad, but they think that she's part coonhound, so loves sniffing. And I think she actually might like sniffing walks more than brisk walks. My last dog loved a brisk walk, and she was my running partner for a long time, but and she was like a pit mix, which are more like in tune to their owners, like, and more eager to please, I think, than labs and hounds. And labs are eager to please too, and they're very chill, but I think Nyx's hound part makes her a little bit more sassy and willful, and I don't think she would be a good running partner at all. And I think it's partly because she'd catch a scent and want to go after it, or she would just stop dead and not want to go. She does that when we walk sometimes. It seems like the only time she's really happy on a walk is when she's allowed to just sniff, and especially if it's like nature in like the woods or in a field. If we're walking on the sidewalk like by a road and it's noisy, then she gets spooked really easily and like doesn't want to walk anymore. So these sniffing walks are a really good way to get her a lot of exercise. And it's really peaceful too. It helps me remember to be in the moment because she's currently in the moment. Like she's, absorbing every smell and following the scent. She's not thinking about what am I going to do later? What errands do I have to run? So it helps me also stay grounded in the current moment. And I appreciate pets for how they help us do that. Ew, trash. So here are the little onions that I planted when I did the potatoes. I just had a little bit more space. I put onions there. And so far, the potatoes have not really, like that's a little bit. And I see one right here, but I think that might be it. So I need to water. The soil looks kind of damp, but I'm going to be out of town for a few days, so and it's not going to rain for a while. I fertilized my garlic when I planted the potatoes, and I think it made a big difference in how it looks. And then I also did a few more onions here, which these are getting shaded out by the collards, which are bolting, which is why I didn't harvest them. But it has such pretty flowers that I'm gonna leave it for a little while longer. And I did clean up some of the herbs. Oh, my lemon balm, why? Oh, I bet it's frost damage because we had those cold nights. But everything else looks like it's filling up really good. The lemon balm will be fine, it'll bounce back. The sage looks like it's got some new growth on it, so I need to water real quick. And I think I'm gonna do some fertilization on the garlic and onions. Nix is waiting in the car like a good girl. You ready to go to the next garden? You ready? Okay. That's how Nix likes to ride, which we're not moving at this moment, but she likes to stick her head out the window and watch everything and smell everything. And that's why she has that tether on, so she won't jump out the window. We're at the second garden, and something I was thinking about on the way is I was talking earlier about how my last dog was different in terms of like her personality, where she liked to walk for the sake of walking. She was a good running buddy, and I didn't think Nix would be a good running buddy because she likes to sniff and all that. Well, the other difference is my last dog hated car rides. Like, even though 90% of the time she was going to fun places, she would pant and drool the entire car ride, even if it was just 5 minutes. Like, she hated it. So when we got Nix, and my last dog passed away in 2021, like I'll mention that, and we got Nix in 2023, like beginning of 2023. So when we got Nix, I said, I want a dog that I can take in the car. So that was part of her early socialization and conditioning, was like getting her used to the car and getting it to where she liked car rides and shooting. So now she loves car rides. And because she likes going places, she loves going on trips, which we're going on a trip tomorrow. And when she thinks that we're going on a trip and that she gets to go, she is so excited. And she's coming with me on the trip tomorrow. So, I think that's why I'm giving myself like a slow day today, because I know I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow and I'm going to be traveling and stuff. So I'm trying to like keep myself chill today and just like leisurely do my stuff. So I'm gonna walk her now and then go do the watering I need to do at this garden. Which is starting to get sunnier, and the parks are getting busier. So that'll be a thing too. We're inside a tree, Nix. Hold on. This is crazy. This is a magnolia. Wow, this is really cool. I've seen this, but I've never been inside it. What you think? It's bare bush, except for these little tiny flowers. So this is the other garden where I planted all these onions a couple weeks ago. And then here's my garlic. Wow, it looks so different than the other one. And in general, they're both like just more developed. Wow, okay, I gotta water real quick. And now I'm starting to see why they say you're not supposed to crowd things, like plant them too close together. Cause yeah, we want to make sure there's airflow in there. So I'm gonna water real quick. Nyx is getting antsy, so. You happy, dog? Well, I just got my eyebrows done, which I'm checking them out. I hadn't gotten them done in a while. This is the second time I've been to this place. And it's always that thing where when you move, you have to find like a new place for everything. And where we lived before, I had found a place that I really liked to do all my like grooming stuff. And she used to do a really good job on my eyebrows. And I've been struggling to find a place that I like for eyebrows here. Because I have like thick eyebrows, but they're very light. So and they're a little bit more straight, which I prefer, like more of an arched look. And then I also get them dyed. So they're obviously darker. And so now I'm just looking at the shape. Where are they too thin? Because normally I say not too thin, just a cleanup. But then I asked for more of an arch, and last time she didn't take off, like I said, clean up, not too thin, and they weren't quite thin enough. So this is like the thinnest my eyebrows have been in a long time, which they're thinner than they were, so it's more of a shock, but they're not, I don't think they're too thin. And then of course, like not having any other makeup on, they look darker, which I see a spot like right here. I'm gonna have to fill still with a pencil, like right there. But the color is good, because last time, maybe because they weren't thin enough, that the color looked a little bit too dark, but now I think these look pretty closer to my natural hair color. And then with other makeup on, it'll look more like a total look. So now I keep alluding to having to go out of town tomorrow. So I work remote, but we have an all hands meeting in the office this week, so I'm traveling for that. And so I need to go pick up a couple toiletry items, and I need some new makeup. Like I'll go through my makeup bag later and I'll show, but and I'm just like a drugstore makeup person. I don't use any kind of fancy makeup, so I just need to go stock up on some stuff, because I don't wear makeup on a day-to-day basis. I only wear it like for special occasions, or if I'm gonna go somewhere, like if I go to book club, then I'll put on a little bit of makeup. So because I'll be in office a couple days, I want to I'll obviously probably wear I will wear makeup, so I need to stock up on that, and just like travel toiletry items. And then I also need to get a frame for a cross stitch that I made for someone as a gift that I will see when I'm in town. And then I'll go back home and do my chores there. So I'm home from my errands. I'm about to eat some lunch, and then we'll do a little haul of the makeup that I got at the store. And this is probably the most unexciting lunch ever: a turkey sandwich on wheat bread. And this is a mix of plain and vanilla Greek yogurt. I like to mix it so it's not too sweet. And then I add some frozen blueberries and add some Oreo cookie crumbles as like a little topping. But it has tons of protein, very filling, and I was actually craving this today, so I'm gonna eat my lunch. We're in my bathroom. I need to get this makeup that I bought and put it in my makeup bag, so I'll show you what I got. I mentioned that I'm a drugstore makeup person, and I've had the same makeup routine for many years, more than 10. It has pared down over the years, but as far as products, I use pretty much the same products that I've used, with one change. First of all, does anyone else let their makeup get like this? Like almost completely empty. Like there's the tiniest sliver of powder in there. This is the Revlon blurring powder. I've used it for a long time. Like I've used it to the point where the top is broken off and I have to just kind of like stick it back on. So this is one of the things I had to get today. And I actually couldn't find this at first and I forgot that it was Revlon. I for some reason I thought it was Neutrogena, so I was looking in the Neutrogena section. I didn't see it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what happens when you go forever without buying new makeup. Is then it gets discontinued." But fortunately, then I was like looking. I was on a different aisle looking for something else, and I saw it at the like very near the bottom. But I like this powder because it has like the ever so slightest sheen to it. So it's like it's blurring. It's supposed to be. I think they used to call it photo ready, and now they call it blurring. But I don't. I just use it to kind of like lightly dust and like set my concealer. Um, so, but I like I said, I've used this for a long time. I've used Maybelline Colossal for years, and this tube is so old that the label is rubbed off. So got my new tube of that. I like the brush on this one. It has like this very like a brush that has like a lot of bristles and it feels very fluffy. So it gets in between my lashes really well, and then it layers really well to do a couple coats. But good for eye health to use mascara that's not old. This is the Physicians Formula blush. It's called Go Happy, I think mood boosting blush, and I could not find this in stores. I went to two different Walmarts and I could not find it. When I Googled it, it said it was in stock in one Walmart. So I went to that one second, and then I got there and I didn't see it. So I looked on the Walmart app and they didn't have it. And so I ordered this to be delivered. But I'll put a picture of it up. But I like how it has like multiple colors. I don't like when blush is just like one flat color. I like how the Physicians Formula blush has multiple colors, which seems to more closely mimic like a natural flush. It just looks more natural, and it has a little bit of a shimmer, so you get almost that highlighting effect without having to wear extra highlighter. If you can't tell, I'm all about simplicity with makeup, so I'm gonna have that delivered. And this one I've also used till it's like basically gone. The lid is broken off. It has like the tiniest little ridge around the edge. So I have not been getting a very good consistent blush for a while. I don't wear foundation anymore. I used to wear this L'Oreal True Match, which this bottle is empty. I don't even know why I still have it in my bag. I wore this for a long time because it was the best foundation match for me. It's neutral N1 soft ivory. And one thing that I had issues with growing up, like obviously I'm pale, but a lot of foundations for pale skin have like a pinkish tone, and I don't, even though I like have a pink-ish kind of flush, like an all over pink undertone blush or foundation just didn't look good on me. And when I found neutral makeup that was not cool and not warm, it made such a huge difference in how my makeup looked. And so I was a very like hard stand for this particular foundation for a long time. But then in the last couple years, I'm 39 years old. Over the last couple years, I just didn't like how foundation was sitting on my skin anymore. Like I have fine lines. You can't see them when I'm not wearing makeup. Like they're very subtle. And so it's made me walk back my makeup routine a little bit. So I used to do foundation, concealer under my eyes because I do have like darker circles under my eyes, and just kind of overall, because like mainly I needed to even my skin tone. And the neutral colors, like now that brands have started coming out with neutral colors that are not warm, not cool, it works really well for me. um, and one of the things that I tried after I stopped using the True Match is this Neutrogena Hydro Boost hydrating tint, and this does work well. Like if I'm going to go out for like a very special occasion, like I'm talking like a date night, like I think for Valentine's Day, I think I wore like full foundation and everything. Then I'll use this hydrating tint because it doesn't settle in the lines as much, and I'm not wearing it like all day. It's for like a special event, so it's not like I'm expecting it to be put on in the morning and still look good at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So this works really well for mature skin that but I would say I wouldn't wear this all day on purpose. Like I wouldn't wear it to work probably. And speaking of work, I mentioned I work from home. I don't wear makeup during like throughout the day anymore. Um, so, but when I do wear makeup now, I just basically do concealer to for under eyes, redness around my nose and chin. So basically like the middle of my face, like right here, is where I have just like need the color correction. And what I found was this Maybelline Age Rewind Eraser, which it's another empty. Um, and this actually, I like this. So I got a refill of this. And I basically just dot it under my eyes, in the corners of my mouth, like down the center of my nose or on my chin, and then kind of like blend it out to where I'm not doing like a full coverage of foundation or concealer over my whole face. And so if you're not putting makeup on fine lines, then there's nothing to settle in the fine lines. So that's kind of the direction I've taken with my makeup now as I approach 40. And then I dust over a light the powder that I mentioned. For eyebrows, I do have this pencil. This is like the only thing I needed to Revlon Color Stay Brow Creator, I think is what it's called. The label is rubbed off because I've used it so much, but I have a decent amount left. Like it's not like I'm using it a lot. I will have to probably get some more soon. But this has the pencil kind of crayon, and it also has like a powder. So because I used to be a powder eyebrow person until Elf stopped making the powder that I use. But so I'll just need to fill in like this little part right here that I have like a gap. But other than that, for now, my eyebrows are pretty much done, but I can use this to touch up if needed. And then I do so concealer, powder, brows, then I do the mascara and then blush, and that's it. So like my makeup literally takes 5 minutes. I do have an eyeliner in here, a Revlon Color Stay wedge tip liner. So if it's a special occasion and I want my eyes, and especially if I'm not wearing glasses, so if I decide to wear contacts, then I might add a little bit of liner like right at my lash line, just at the top, not across the whole lid, like literally just the top, because that helps my eyes like look a little bit bigger. I'm not an eyeshadow person, and because I have like deeply hooded eyes, so all that like put the shadow in the crease, no, that doesn't work for me, because as soon as I open my eyes, then you can't see the crease anymore. I have experimented with shadow across the upper lid to kind of like push it back to make it look less prominent. But one thing I noticed around my mid 30s is like when I felt like I was starting to get more hooding across my brow bone, like my eyes were like starting to feel like they were sagging, I guess. I started doing eye massage. So I'll take a serum or a cream. Like lately I've been using the ordinary multi-peptide eye serum, which I had to order this too. I'm out of this. Or I like the Pacifica Glow Baby cream too. So something with really good slip, and then massaging around my eyes like this. So you can do it lightly if you don't have anything on your skin to make it slip. Like you don't want to be dragging your fingers across your skin, but lightly massaging helps like remove lymph from your face and helps. Like this is my face massage, like what I do first thing in the morning, just to kind of like get circulation to my face, especially if my face feels puffy, then that like doing this lightly helps to like remove the lymph from your face. But if I have a cream that like after I do my skincare, like I'll wash my face, put on my skincare, and then with the serum or the cream like on my fingers, doing like a deep massage across the eyebrows because I'm scared of Botox. I just I'm scared of it. And I don't want to spend money on it, but I will get like I noticed that, and I'm probably a candidate for someone who could use it for headache prevention because if I do this a lot, if I like if it's because I like I'm straining or I'm concentrating really hard and I get tension across my eyebrows right here, then which is how you get 11 lines also, but it gives me headaches too. So if you press like into your brow bone, like right here, I don't feel it now because I've done massages for so long now, but when I first started doing it, I had such like painful trigger points right here. And um and so like I will massage it. I do it at least once a day. I sometimes try to do it twice a day with like this is the third time I'm saying this with a cream or a serum that has slip. So you're not pulling your skin, but like massaging across the eyebrows right here and it helps relax the muscles. And so it's helped keep me from getting lines right here, I think. And I think it's just as important as the actives in the serum. Like I'm sure the serum peptides work, you know, but I think the massaging, like bringing circulation and like relaxing the muscles, is just as effective at like preventing lines and wrinkles. But also, it just feels good to relieve that tension. Um, and some other facial massages I've started doing when I feel like I need it is like masseter massage right here, like making sure that your jaw's not too tense across here. So for these lines, like getting a good, and I like to do this with a moisturizer too, but you massage these muscles, and then there's these tiny muscles that go down from your eye to the side of your nose. Like massage those a little bit. Then, well, there's points right here, and then the other points that, oh my gosh, when I first started doing this, right here, like right under the cheekbone, talk about trigger points that were painful. Um, and once you do it more and more, like you don't feel the pain anymore, like because you're releasing the trigger points. But just like pressing, you don't even have to like massage, you just press and hold it, and it helps to release that trigger point. Um, it's refreshing. I'll do it in the morning after I take a shower and after I add my skincare, I'll just like do a quick massage, like especially and like neck massaging too helps make sure your face stays like more like with better circulation. I just went off on this tangent about face massage. I got the frame that I needed for my friend's cross stitch. So let's go frame this up now. So this is the cross stitch that I made my friend. She and her husband just recently bought a house, and I thought this was really cute. I saw this on Reddit or Etsy or something. May Godzilla destroy this home last. I thought it was so cute. And so I cross stitched this for her. I washed it yesterday and like laid it out to dry completely, but it's obviously wrinkled, so I need to iron it. And I did not measure, I forgot to measure it before I went to the store. So it looks like it will fit in this 8x10 frame. It'll be tight across the top, like with folding it over. And I'm hoping this frame will be good for it. I'm torn about putting the glass on the top because on one hand, it'll protect it, but on the other hand, you won't be able to see the texture. And I've noticed on the other one that I framed with the glass on top, it makes like a glare on the pattern itself. So then if you're looking at it from a certain direction, like there could be a glare on it. So we might try it both ways, but I just need to iron this real quick. And normally I would thrift a frame, but I didn't feel like going to different places and striking out and like potentially having to go to multiple places to find the right size. So I just bought one at Walmart. This is my first cross stitch pattern on white Aida, and I used a gridded Aida that helped me make sure that I didn't make any mistakes. Because I haven't said this for my other cross stitch patterns, but I made mistakes on those. And and I had to wash it to get the lines out, and I realized how dirty it was from just oils from my hands and stuff. So I will be washing all my cross stitch from now on, because washing it made such a difference. Like, it just made it pop, and so I'm glad that I did that. That's not. Is that centered? No, kind of. Is it? No, no, that's not centered. Okay, glass or no glass? Hmm. Centering it is the hardest part. Like that oval one that I did, the gathering basket, it took me forever to get that one centered. I don't know if it would fit with glass in it, honestly. Like with the thickness of the Ada. Cute. I think that's cute. When you're looking at it like this, when you're looking at it like this, doing it, it's kind of like it doesn't. It's hard to see the full picture, obviously. But then when you look at it from far away, you can see like the hand, the shape of the leg. Like, it makes more sense. So I'm very happy with how this turned out, and I'm excited to give it to her. And my other friend is building a house, and I have a cross stitch plan for him, because I don't want to make the exact same one for him too. So I have another one planned that I'm gonna start working on for him. Um, so yeah, that is done. Okay, I've changed to a tank top because I just started laundry, and while my laundry is going, I think I'm gonna hang out outside on the back porch. I need to bring out my umbrella for the back porch table and read a book. I think I'd rather, it's kind of warm. I'm out of breath from running upstairs. So yes, while my laundry's in, I'm gonna read a book outside, but I need to get my umbrella first and set that up. Update on my seedlings. Let me open this up. So I don't think I said this in a video, but I started my seeds a few weeks ago and they all sprouted, but then they stopped growing. And the tomatoes looked dead, to be honest. Everything else looked not great. So I started the tomatoes over. So these are actually new tomatoes that I just started I restarted them last week, and they already look so much better. Because what I think what happened is it gets really humid in this little greenhouse. You can see the condensation everywhere because I had the heating mats on some of the levels, I had the lights on, and um and so then I vented it like I'm doing it right now to show, and I think it made it too cold in here. Like, we keep our house in like around 70 is where we try to keep it, but it's right here by this window back here. So I think it just got too cold. So I when I restarted the tomatoes, I started like keeping it zipped up again, and they all started growing again. So now my peppers have some true leaves coming in. Everything has grown taller. Everything looks happier. My uh, elephant ears, that is just opened up just today, because I rotated it because the leaf was touching the light bulb. So I have, let's see, This pot has two. Oh, it looks like three coming. Those two are sprouting. There's one little tiny one. Can I get it? Yeah, right there. So three of them are not, haven't sprouted anything yet. I have two of them up here, and I can see one is sprouting right there, and I can't tell what the other one is. And then for my begonias, they just started sprouting too, and I had to get more grow lights because they needed light. So you can see they're sprouting right there. So overall, they're just happier now that it's warmer in here. So, and I started some new pepper seeds as well back there. Uh, those three back there are habaneros that I got from Dollar Tree because I already had my serrano, jalapeno, and cayennes over here, but I just got tempted by trying new seeds. So I got my zinnias back there. The only thing is I don't know. So like the moonflower is just starting to vine up, and I don't know what to do once the lights are as tall as they can go. So like this one has like a tiny bit more space, but pretty soon the plants are going to be too tall for, especially these, like they're going to be too tall for this space. So hopefully it'll be warm enough outside to move them by the time they need more space. To get these two additional grow lights that I added, I had to get a whole pack of 6. So I have more right here, that I have 4 more that I could in theory set up in a different way to maybe like make a taller space for the plants that need to be taller. So that's a problem for future me, like in the next couple weeks. But anyway, let's go outside. I just pulled this out of the garage. Hopefully no spiders jump out. I see some spider webs. I don't know that we used this last year at all. Oh, I'm scared to reach on it. Okay, crank is right there. Okay, I don't see any spiders. It definitely needs to be cleaned though. So that's going to be a project for this year for sure, is to clean, to wash this and maybe figure out how to re-dye it or like spray it. I've seen some kind of like spray paint that's for like umbrellas, but and I also need to get a new base because this base works, but if it's windy, then it's a little bit iffy. So I'm currently reading 1984. Truly, I didn't read this in high school, and it's one of those books that like people reference it all the time, more and more, especially like in today's time. And so I felt like it was something I needed to read, and I was reading a lot of fluffy stuff for book club, and I thought I might take a break from that and read this, which I am 56 pages in of like 350 pages, 330. And it's interesting so far. And every couple pages, I'm like, oh, this sounds like today. This is not a fluffy afternoon read for a Saturday. But the weather is just too gorgeous to not be outside. Like it's 80 degrees here in Atlanta, and so it's on the warm side already, and it's still March. But this is what we call a dry heat. The humidity is only like 42%, which is low for the South. So that's what makes spring so nice. Like it's warmer and it starts to get on the hot side, but it's not humid yet. So it makes it tolerable to be outside. Like if it's 80 degrees and like 70% humidity, no, we're not spending time outside. But one of my goals this year was to spend more time outside, enjoy the space that I have out here, and I'm going to do that now while my laundry is in, which I have like a minute until I need to go put in sanitizer. So I need to get another lounge chair. I used to have like one that like laid all the way out back when I used to try to tan, which I'm not in those days anymore. But it'd still be nice to just like lay out, and it's sunny out here on the patio right now because the leaves haven't grown in on the trees. But once the leaves grow in, even when the sun comes over the house, like after 12, it'll be shaded. So that's another reason why we don't need the umbrella as much. But it's still nice to have to keep stuff from like falling on you.